Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast here on the Daily Signal, nationally syndicated and first on 93 WIBC. I'm joined by my colleague Elise McCue, who, if she does anything better than anyone else, is heap a lot of scorn on really stupid garbage that we see in the pop culture world all the time. And as a representative of the millennials reaching down to the Gen Zs, it's kind of important to call out the really stupid garbage. Elise, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on.
So let's dig right into it. I'm told that Brat is a really big deal. I've seen the album. I've seen the green the green background, the black text. Kamala, she's Brat. It's a Brat summer or whatever. And that's important, I guess. Secretary Miguel Cardona, the education secretary, said defending public schools is Brat. And I cringed. Or no, he said defending public education is part of the essence of Brat summer. You need to explain this cringe for me because I can't take it.
Oh boy, I physically kind of shriveled up when you said that. That hurt. But what is Brat? It's a mindset. It's the theme of the summer, but more literally, it is an album released by Charli XCX this summer. She's a hyperpop artist from England, actually.
Okay.
And this is, I don't know. She has so many albums out, but this is one that really, really shot her into stardom recently. I know millennials probably love her song Boom Clap, but this is Charli XCX for Gen Z. And in her own words,
you're just like that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometimes, who feels herself, but then also maybe has a breakdown.
Big word salad there.
It's just like Taylor Swift albums, but with a heavier beat behind it. Isn't that the same thing?
It depends. I don't know. I feel like some of the songs are very just like the name says, bratty, sassy, I'm better than you and I'm so chic vibes. And then some of them are very serious, I'm 30 and I don't have a baby on a big... Seriously, okay. on a techno beat. So
because those two thoughts they go together. Nothing is I'm mildly depressed.
Seriously, and she has people dancing in the clubs in Ibiza to that. So props to her for doing the impossible.
So they've decided this is what Kamala's going to run with, is that she's Brat because she's a mess, but she's getting through it. Really, is that the vibe?
So here's the thing. I'm not 100% convinced any politician has listened to a second of this album, because if they have, they would know that she makes a lot of references to doing drugs, to being stupid, being dumb, and being sort of incompetent.
Okay.
But that's Brat. So I'm not really convinced Kamala or any politician who quotes it knows what's going on. From my understanding, Kamala got linked to Brat from this one edit.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
I'm just living that life. Fun Dutch cult classic, but I still pop.
And it made no sense, but it took off, especially because it happened right at the time when everyone was starting to love Kamala, right after the debate, because everyone hated Joe Biden. So I think culturally, the chronically online and Gen Z people assigned that to her. And someone really young, really smart on her team, once she became the presumptive nominee, took that and ran with it.
Because they didn't just take it and ran with it. They made it the instant branding, and it reeked. It just reeked of college intern. All right, come on, the flipping of the social media immediately, and then trying to run this out. It reminds me of Hillary Clinton saying,
"Pokemon go to the polls."
Or Nancy Pelosi going,
"This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner."
Who talks like that? Yeah.
It hurts so much. So, I mean, and I don't know, there are a lot of other people who have compared this to trying to make fetch happen. I hate pandering. I hate it so much. When I was a teacher, I never tried to pander to my students so they'd like me better because it didn't work. It's just an opportunity to make fun of people. I'm just waiting for the Saturday Night Live sketch where they inevitably invite Kamala on to do a
Maya
rap.
Rudolph.
You know it's coming. You know she's going to rap before this election hits because this is the kind of cringy crap that she does.
All I can say is, Maya Rudolph, she's collecting that bag. She's collecting that check on SNL this upcoming season with the whole Kamala thing, and gotta respect her for that. But yeah, back to your point about just Brat and Kamala and not pandering. That's, I think, one of the hallmarks of, at least what I think is a hallmark of my generation of Gen Z, authenticity and being very genuine. Honestly, sometimes even a little too genuine on the way that we represent ourselves on the internet.
A little bit much at times.
A little bit much at times.
Some of those secrets we can keep to ourselves. It's okay. I don't need to know which armpit you wash first in the shower. That's a little bit much for me, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. But this, even though she's trying to pander to Gen Z with this, and even with like inviting Megan Thee Stallion up on stage to perform at a rally, all these things are so ingenuine. Gen Z hates when people aren't being genuine. So I think everyone in my generation who's let the media successfully brainwash them into thinking Kamala is great, Kamala is Brat, I don't think that they're being genuine and honest with themselves. And they're just trying to cling to some hope that Donald Trump won't win with this. And I know that they're not serious.
I'll throw it to you this way. This is my hot prediction here. So we'll have to come back and find if it actually still works. I'm going to guess, just throw a wild shot out in the dark, that this is kind of like when you had a teacher or a principal in school who would say one funny thing once, and everyone laughed because it was funny. And then something went horribly wrong. The principal or the teacher now believed they were funny. And so then they just started saying the same kind of stuff all the time until the end of the year. Students hated that, like groaned every time that person opened their mouth. It was like, oh, please, God, just stop. And I think that's what we're going to get with Kamala. Like, really, 100%. I think that I can't wait. I can't wait. Those memes are going to be chef's kiss delightful.
I am just waiting for the second that she mentions the coconut tree bit. Gone. Her entire Gen Z empire just gone.
I cannot wait. There's a fantastic meme that describes how memes live and die. And that's I'll throw it up on screen. A picture of a guy putting a pineapple on his head. And then like some other people put pineapples on their heads and they're like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then like there's a person that's like wearing like a company shirt and then they put the pineapple on their head and then suddenly the meme just dies. It's not funny anymore. Ugh. And we are heading there so quickly for Kamala. It's a very dangerous game to go after the youth vote because they're very finicky and fickle, these youths, these Gen Zs, millennials, and I-alphas behind them. I don't know if there is anyone in the DNC who knows how to keep Gen Z on the hook for this election cycle.
I don't think that I even know how to keep Gen Z on the hook because it's just like what's trendy one day and what's likable one day is so quickly hated the next day. And that's just the nature of this generation. Whoever can figure that out better be getting paid a lot of money. And I hope it's someone on the right. Honestly.
Tracking and charting trends. I tell you what, some of these trends are shorter lived than some of the news stories that we face today. It really is a wild time. If you're not engrossed in the online, which just happens to be the people least likely to vote, then you're not going to be picking up on these trends. Elise McCue, you can find her on X and, of course, at the Daily Signal. We'll bring her back soon. There's a lot more of this garbage to shovel, and we need you on for it.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
We'll be back in just a second. This is the Tony Kinnett Cast on the Daily Signal, nationally syndicated and first on 93 WIBC.